Let me ask you something real quick. If Blender is free and just as powerful, why do big studios still pay thousands of dollars every year for 3D software? I used to think it was just ego or companies being scared of change. But once you understand the real reason, the whole Blender versus industry software debate suddenly makes sense. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what studios are paying for and why it actually matters for your 3D career. This video isn't about trashing Blender, and it's not about defending expensive software either. It's about how studios think. Because if you want to work in 3D professionally, or even freelance seriously, you need to understand why decisions are made at scale. And there's one reason studios care about more than features. I'll get to that in a minute. Here's the part nobody tells beginners. Studios don't choose software because it's cool. They choose it because it's predictable. And that word, predictable, is the key to everything. Let me explain. In a studio, a crash isn't annoying. It's expensive. In big 3D studios, a crash is expensive because it stops paid artists from working right away. These teams use pricey software licenses and powerful computers that cost a lot to run every hour. A crash wastes time and money on lost progress that must be redone quickly to meet deadlines. Studios hire many skilled artists who earn high salaries. One crash can halt an entire team, adding up to thousands of dollars in idle wages per hour. This makes every minute critical in tight production schedules. Crashes during rendering on huge farms waste massive compute power and electricity. A single frame can take hours or days. So interrupting that process means starting over and burning through budgets fast. Big projects like films have fixed release dates with millions at stake. A crash delays shots, forces overtime, or risks missing milestones, which can lead to contract penalties or lost revenue. When 50 artists are working on the same project, a single bug can delay an entire pipeline. So studios pay for tested builds, long-term stability, controlled updates, not because free tools are bad, but because uncertainty costs money. Big 3D studios like Pixar and Disney pay for proprietary software licenses to get long-term stability. Paid software offers reliable performance over many years without sudden crashes or breaks from free updates. This stability helps large teams work on big films without losing time on fixes. Controlled updates means studios decide when to change the software. They test updates first to avoid breaking complex pipelines with billions of polygons or custom tools. Free software like Blender updates too often and risks workflow problems for studio-scale projects. Licenses include support from companies like Autodesk or SideFX for enterprise needs. This gives studios floating licenses for teams, security, and custom features not in free versions. Big budgets justify costs since films earn billions. Studios don't use one tool. They use asset managers, render farms, version control, custom scripts, game engines, proprietary tools. Expensive software is often built to plug into massive pipelines, work with legacy systems, support custom integrations. Free tools can do this too, but studios don't want to figure it out mid-production. Pipeline compatibility keeps their large teams working smoothly without errors. Free tools like Blender often need custom changes to fit studio workflows, which cost time and money. Expensive software like Maya or Houdini already works well with industry tools, custom scripts, and other programs studios rely on. Pipelines and studios handle complex steps from modeling to rendering, and all software must match perfectly. Changing to cheaper options breaks these links, causing delays on big projects. Studios invest in proven expensive tools for stability and speed across hundreds of artists. Pixar uses in-house RenderMan and Presto for full pipeline control in films. Disney and DreamWorks pick Maya plus custom tools because they integrate easily with their asset systems. These choices avoid rework that free software like Blender would demand. Moreover, Pipeline compatibility reduces studio costs by ensuring smooth data flow between tools, which cuts down on errors and wasted time in 3D production. Teams avoid manual fixes or conversions that happen when software doesn't match, saving hours on large projects. It also lowers training needs since artists use proven, integrated systems without learning custom workarounds. Compatible pipelines automate handoffs from modeling to rendering, reducing production timelines by up to 30%. Studios skip rebuilding assets or debugging mismatches, which speeds up delivery for films and games. This keeps projects on budget instead of delaying releases. Seamless integration eliminates compatibility issues across platforms like Windows and Linux, preventing data loss or crashes. Automation handles repetitive tasks reliably, cutting error rates and rework costs. Stable pipelines mean less downtime for hundreds of artists working together. Custom tools and expensive software like Maya fit existing workflows, avoiding the high setup costs of adapting free options. Cloud-compatible pipelines scale without extra infrastructure spending. Overall, this boosts productivity and keeps operational expenses low over multiple projects. Here's a big one. When something breaks in a studio, they don't ask Reddit. They want dedicated support, service agreements, someone legally responsible. With paid software, there's a contract. And when millions of dollars are on the line, that matters more than saving on licenses. Expensive software comes with 24/7 technical help from experts. This support stops crashes during big renders or team projects. Studios get training and custom fixes too, which keeps artists working without delays. Paid software has contracts that hold companies accountable for bugs or failures. This means legal protection if a project fails due to software issues. Big studios budget for this reliability to avoid losing millions on films. In team pipelines, everyone must use the same stable version with enterprise licenses. This ensures files share without errors across hundreds of users. Free options risk instability that small freelancers can handle, but studios cannot. Studios hire fast. They want artists who already know the tool, can jump into production immediately, don't need retraining. Industry software becomes a common language, not because it's better, but because it's familiar. Big 3D studios like Pixar and Disney use expensive software, such as Autodesk Maya, because it speeds up training and hiring. These studios standardize on one tool to build pipelines that everyone knows. This cuts time and costs for new hires. Expensive software has official workshops and certifications from companies like Pixar. Training takes days, not weeks, because many artists already know it from school or past jobs. Free tools like Blender need more self-learning time. Studios hire fast when candidates know Maya, as it is the industry standard. Job ads ask for Maya skills because pipelines are built around it. Switching to free software would slow hiring and production. Custom tools in Maya fit studio workflows for animation and VFX. Everyone works at the same speed without retraining. This saves money on deadlines despite high software costs. This is the part most people miss. Studios don't ask, "Is this the best software?" They ask, "What is the least risky choice?" An expensive software has a track record, has been used on previous films or games, has predictable outcomes. That's what they're paying for. Now here's the twist. None of this means you shouldn't use Blender. In fact, for solo artists, freelancers, and learners, Blender might actually be the smarter choice. But that raises a much bigger question. If studios care about pipelines and thinking, not tools, what skills actually make you hireable? That's what I'll break down in the next video. If this video helped clear the confusion, hit subscribe. This channel is about how the 3D industry really works. No hype, no fanboy takes, just the truth. And if you want to understand what studios actually look for in 3D artists, you want to see what's coming next.